Hello, happy Monday, third graders. I hope you all had a wonderful spring break. We are going into our fourth quarter. So for fourth quarter, we're going to start by going over fractions. And today we're just going to be working on identifying equal parts. And equal means they're going to be the same size. So let's go over some examples. So fractions represent equal parts of a whole. So when we divide a whole into equal parts, each part is the same size. So here we see we have a triangle divided into two parts. Now it's cut right down the middle, and these two parts are the same size, which means these two would be equal parts. But if we look down here, we see this rectangle is cut into two parts, right? But the difference is they're not equal. This part right here is smaller than this part. This part is bigger. So we're working on equal parts, and that's what our fractions are going to show, is that they're going to be equal parts, and these parts together show the whole triangle. So here's one part of the triangle, the second part of the triangle that's equal. These together show one full triangle. Same down here, this rectangle is cut into four different parts, but the problem is they're not equal parts. They're all different sizes. So this would not represent our fractions. We want to go over equal parts. So here, if we had to decide out of these triangles which one is cut to equal parts, usually it can be cut down the middle or in the middle this way to show two equal parts. So this one, we see this is smaller, this is bigger. This is smaller, this is bigger, but this is cut right down the middle. So we know this one would be cut into equal parts. This one we see also, this is a bigger piece and this is a smaller piece, so that would not be cut into equal parts. So now let's look at a square. Well, this part's smaller and this part's bigger, so they're not equal, so it's not cut into equal parts. That would not be what we would use to represent fractions. But this is cut right down the middle. They're both the same size on each one, so they're one part, two part, and they're equal. So that would say, I would say, yes, that is cut into equal parts. Here we have four different parts, but as we can see, these two are way smaller than these two, so they're not equal. So that one, not equal parts. This one is cut into four as well, and we see that it's cut diagonal and diagonal, and each one is going to be the same size. So for squares, we can cut it into two equal parts or four equal parts, and notice how the lines are going from corner all the way across to the other corner, so that would be equal parts. So now when we look at circles, again, they can be cut right down the middle, and if it's cut right down the middle, we know both sides are going to be equal. Here, these are two different, one's smaller, one's bigger, not equal. This one tried to cut into four, just like our square. And again, they're not the same size. So if they're not the same size, if the parts aren't the same size, it's not cut into equal parts. But this circle, we see it's cut straight down the middle and on the side, straight down the side in the middle. So these we know all four are in equal parts. So this one is cut into equal parts as well. So now when we look at rectangles, we see over here at this one, they're all different sizes. So again, if the parts are different sizes, that means they're not equal. Equal means the same. So this one wouldn't count. But this one, they're all cut equal sizes into three different squares. This one, they're all different sizes, so that would not be an equal part. But this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all cut. They all look the same size. So I would say, yes, this one is equal parts. So now let's go over through some examples that we'll be looking at today for our homework. And these are taken right from IXL. So this is what you'll be working with today. So it says select all the pictures that show equal parts. So for this, I won't have like a pen to show you, so I'm just going to circle and then we'll talk about each one. So we want to go over all the equal parts. So I see we have a circle and we went over the circles. They can be divided into 4 equal parts. And I have to look, are they all the same size? They all do look the same size, so I would say, yes, this one would show equal parts. They all have the same parts, and the parts are all the same size. Same with here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of this rectangle. Now I have to see, do they all look the same size? I would say yes as well to this one. They all have the same equal parts. But here, I see this part right here is bigger than this part, and that automatically gives it away that it is not equal. If one part is smaller or one part is bigger, they're not equal. And same with this one here. I see that this is bigger than this. It's not cut right down the middle or right down the sides, down the middle this way or down the middle this way. So again, since they're different sizes, they're not equal. So let's look at this one, a triangle. So select the picture that shows equal parts. Well, this triangle has bigger parts and smaller parts, so not equal, so I wouldn't click it. This one, this is almost half the circle, and then these two are divided into the other half. Again, not the same size, so not equal. But here we see this circle is cut into 3 equal parts. We can see because each part is the same size. So we would say, yes, this one is equal. And it's just about looking at it, seeing if they're the same size. Here, this part of the circle is smaller than this part, so not equal. Here, this part is smaller than this part and this part. So again, not equal parts. It wouldn't count. But here, these 4 parts, these rectangles are all the same size. So that shows that it has equal parts. They took the big rectangle and cut it up into 4 equal parts. Here, again, this one is smaller than this one, not equal. This is smaller than this one. It's not cut down the middle, so not equal. But this one is cut right down the middle, but it is slanted, so sometimes you'll have to look at it a different way. If it helps, you can tilt your head and you can see it's cut right down the middle. So this would be equal. So make sure just to take your time. Remember, we're working on equal parts. Equal means the same. All right, and have fun. I will see you tomorrow. On Wednesday, we will continue with fractions.